So I'm coming out of the casino, placed a couple bets, some football bets. I think it was football bets at the time. So as soon as I come out, I take about 8 steps, and there's these two ladies there, two young ladies. And one of them was very, very pretty, and then the other one, I couldn't really like, I couldn't. So I don't know the the names. I'm not sure the names. I'm not sure if what would to call her. I wouldn't say. Some people say dyke. Some people say bull dyke lesbian. I'm not really sure what it is. So don't want to necessarily mistaken her identity. So I'm just gonna say it's another lady. So the young lady, she asked me for some directions. They're not from Delaware, where I'm from, so they was actually directions to a hotel that they were staying at. It was pretty late at night. It was about 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock, something like that, from what I remember. So I'm telling her the directions, but her energy is like light and fluffy and like just like full of joy. But the other girl, her energy is mad aggressive. Now, mind you, I don't know if they're together. I don't know what's going on. Young lady asked for some directions. I'm just giving her directions, and then I'm out. But as I get done the directions, I'm like almost finished. I'm like at the end of the direction, but not 100% done. I'm about 98% of the way done with the directions. And the one girl, I don't know, whatever you want to call her. She's like, yo, let's go. We ready to go right now. I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, you got something to say? I kind of froze because I'm thinking like, I'm looking at her, I'm like, yo, this chick is about $130. I'm like, there's no way, like, she could think like that I would be afraid of her, or that she could beat me in a fight. Like, I'm thinking in my head, like, what's going on? So I'm just looking at her, and then she bucks at me, and I'm like, then I give her like a serious stare. I'm like, hey, is this chick serious? So like my facial expression goes from like, are you serious, to like, you can't be kidding. You got to be kidding me. And just looking at her like that. Yeah, her friend jumps in, the fun one. She jumps in and says, hey, you can't beat him. And like I could tell, like, when she said that to her, like a different level of rage just overcame her. Like, it was like a whole different level of rage. And in this moment, I'm like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? I'm like, if this young girl hits me, because I don't even know how old this girl is. This girl's probably like, she look like she's about 19. Like, I'm just like, I'm like, how do I get myself in these situations? I'm gonna say, like, I swear I'm the only guy on the planet that gets it. Like, what do I do here? So I just to take off and start walking. And then one girl, she's apologetic. She's the light and fluffy one. She's really apologetic. She's like, and I'm just telling her, like, no, that's cool, girl. And then that's me walking to the car. And the other girl, like, man, stop talking to him, man. He lame. I'm like, how did I become lame for giving you directions to where you want to go? Now, obviously, she said they was from I want to say Atlanta, somewhere down south. I think it was in Georgia, but I think it's a city in Georgia I heard of, but very rarely. But when I hear the city, I know that person's from Georgia. So it was like one of those situations. But I sat in the car after turning the ignition on. I sat in the car for a second, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, if this young girl would have hit me, like, what would I have done? Like, what was I supposed to do in that situation? I know I wouldn't hit her back. I'm not gonna hit a woman, but maybe I'd have just ran off. I don't know. That was low key kind of wild. But haven't told you guys a story in a long time. Not a lot of random stuff happens to me often. My life is pretty simplistic right now. Family, kids. So nothing off the rails really happen that much. As far as to me. Now, as far as like when I do Uber rides and people talking to me, now those situations can get kind of kind of wild. As far as like what they talk about and as far as their own experience, and let's say coming at me all crazy like that young lady did. But shout out to the young girl. That was really cool, man. She was really nice, cool, and seemed like she was pretty down to earth. And I mentioned that the girl was super cute because usually people tend to be very protective of women, people, period. But like the cuter, it seems like the more protective or the more jealous a person can get, man. I've definitely seen people, getting moments of rage practically for no reason, just because they kind of know that they're the person they with is looks wise out of their league. You can just feel that energy. But the thing of it is, if whoever the person is that's looks wise, whether they look better than you or not, if they with you, they must be with you for some reason. There's something about you they like. So, because I could tell they were together, because as I was walking to the car, the light and fluffy one, she started babying her up a little bit, and trying to console her, and telling her everything gonna be all right, like like she just got attacked by a bear or something. And I barely even said 2 words to her. I don't even think I even said anything to her, to be honest. She just started snapping. It was kind of weird, but anyway, as you can see, man, we got had a pretty good game here. We barely beat this guy with the Packers. I think I'm still undefeated with the Packers on the PS5. Don't quote me on that, but I haven't told you guys a story in a long time, so I figure I put this game together. Tell you guys a story that I think you guys would think is somewhat interesting, man. Just something different from the series. We're gonna get back to the series, man. We still got one more series left that I want to show you guys, and then it's just gonna be a continuation of series and a combination of different things. Every now and then I'll probably throw some Mario Kart in, some Modern Warfare, maybe Street Fighter 6 when it comes out, or maybe even the delayed Street Fighter 5. I might even put that in a little bit, but definitely some Street Fighter 6 when that comes out. You guys already know I'm putting some of that on here for sure, man. Your boy